Hey guys, how's it going? Miso here, and I am back with a Maplestory 2 video. Yes, I was finally able to make Maplestory 2 work on my computer, which I'm so excited about, though it's not KMS2, but CMS2, the Chinese version of Maplestory 2. But nonetheless, I can play the game now and make some videos for y'all. So let's get started. So, a lot has changed since the last time I played. In my previous video, I talked a little bit about how you tagged monsters to level. Well, that is kind of all gone at the moment, at least for the first 25 levels. Not sure about later though. So for the first 25 levels, you basically run through the story to level. It's a lot easier to level compared to before, and there's really no need to grind, and it's honestly not the most efficient way to level either. So it took me about 2 hours to get to this level, whereas before it probably took me about half a day to get to level 25. So that's a huge difference. And to be honest, I kind of have mixed feelings about that. I kind of appreciated that the game took a little bit longer to grind and it really felt like I was accomplishing something. But at the same time, I really don't want it to be too hard. So I don't like where it is right now, but definitely I think it's a little bit of an improvement compared to before. If we could tone down the leveling rate just by a little, I think the game would be great. Now, the monsters were fairly easy to kill. I pretty much one-hit everything. I used skill and all the monsters died around me. And part of that might have been because equipment and potions are so easy to get at this level. All you do is you do the quests, and the rewards will usually be a potion and equipment, and you can equip those and you can continue progressing. While I'm not a huge fan of how easy it is to kill everything, I am a fan of the fact that you don't really feel at any point like you're hitting a wall. So you're not going to look at your equipment and be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do to progress? I'm going to need to use a bunch of pots. I'm going to run out of money. I'm going to somehow have to scrounge together scraps to get potions. It never feels like that at all because of how easy it is. So it really makes the new player experience a lot better. One of the worst things in my opinion to do to a new player is make them hit a wall where they feel like they have to do a lot of work to get over. And I know some people really appreciate that type of difficulty, but I feel like a lot of people don't. So I think that that part is good. But yet again, I think it might be a little bit too easy at the moment and there really isn't any weight or challenge. So I think that if you could turn it up just a little bit, it'll make the game a lot better to play. The other thing that I noticed as I was leveling was that it's very much a solo experience. So there's really not much opportunity for you to do stuff with other people because you're doing these quests, and I'm not even sure if you can do these quests with other people because of the amount of cutscenes that it goes through. Now, I'm not entirely sure because I don't have anybody that I know that plays CMS2, but it just doesn't give me the sense that it welcomes party play, and it definitely doesn't encourage it. This is one thing that I feel would affect the new player experience because a lot of times you're coming into this wanting to play with a friend. So if you're not really getting an experience where you can play with your friends, I think that's going to hurt the player base a lot when they're coming in through the gate. Now there are dungeons that you can do with other players that are part of the story, but really you don't really need to have another player with you. I was able to progress through this dungeon content by myself, and I really didn't have any problem making it through. The bosses felt a little bit like meat shields, but I never felt like I was gonna die from these bosses. I would always have a potion ready, or it just wouldn't deal much damage to me, and I didn't really even need a heal. Now, granted that I am playing a knight and they are the tankier class, that might have affected how easy it was for me, but I really don't think it makes much of a difference if you played another class. You might take a little bit more damage, but your potions are always there to heal you back up to full. As I mentioned earlier, there isn't any grinding involved in this process, but to be honest, I kind of enjoyed killing mobs and wish there was a little bit more. The few skills that I had looked really good and also felt good to use. Especially a couple of the knight skills, they felt like they had some weight to them, and I really appreciate that. But I'm sure that's going to change very soon and I'm going to have to start grinding, so definitely stay tuned for that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the skill system. So there isn't a job advancement system like there is in Maplestory 1. So you're not going from, you know, mage to cleric to priest to bishop. You have none of that. All it is one class. So my class is the knight, and you can see all the skills you're going to get throughout the levels. And the way you get these skills is by 1, leveling your character, and 2, by unlocking prerequisite skills. So let's take a look at the skill tree. So as you can see, I have some skills that are unlocked and some skills that are locked. So I first started off with these 4 skills: crosscut, tornado slash, shield charge, and iron defense, and I had those skills starting at level 1. Now these 2 skills, divine strike and typhoon slash, I needed to unlock. As you can see, they have some requirements. So you needed to be, well, for divine strike it was a much lower level, but it also required the 2 levels in tornado slash and crosscut, and I can show you. So if I decrease the levels, it really only required level 13 to get level 1 of this. And as you can see, I can increase and decrease skill levels as I want, which is really cool, especially compared to Maplestory 1. This game allows you to reset skills whenever you'd like, and it doesn't cost anything. In addition to that, you get additional skill tabs as well. So you can, let's say if you want to make a solo build versus a party build, you can do that as well. But the downside is that if you want to get an additional skill tab, you will have to pay an X. The last and final piece that I want to talk about is the music. So Maplestory music has been a big part of my growing up, and I feel like every time I listen to it, it's so nostalgic. So every now and then I'll turn on my Maplestory 1 music and just kind of listen to it and really enjoy the experience and relive how it felt to be, you know, a kid playing this game. And I have to say that Maplestory 2 hits it really strong in some parts, but at the same time, other parts it's not so strong. A lot of the music that they have is taken from Maplestory 1, and they redid it for Maplestory 2. So it's very much the same song, but it sounds a lot different and more modern. But there are also some new songs, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I really like their new songs. And maybe that's just because they didn't exist in Maplestory 1 and I don't feel nostalgic for it, but the new music just doesn't sound that great in my opinion. But honestly, I have to say that I really enjoyed my experience leveling from 1 to 25. There was never really a point where I felt like I wanted to put down the game and just move on to something else, but at the same time it also made me appreciate Maplestory 1 because it really just doesn't scratch the same itch, and I think that's fine. But we'll see as I move on and level to higher levels. We'll see how much fun I continue having, and I hope I do have a lot of fun because I have a lot of hopes for this game, and I think that it has the opportunity to attract a huge player base. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all the time that you took to make it to the end of this video. And please give this video a like, write a comment below, and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. Until next time guys, peace.